Hey everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about I Wish You All the Best by Mason Beaver. And this is about Ben, who comes out to their parents as non-binary, and as a result is kicked out of their home and left shoeless, walking around in the rain.
In 30-degree weather.
Yeah, it was
brutal.
Brutal. I think, brutal is like a great descriptive term of that. Anyway, Ben connects with his older sister who had moved out of the house and essentially abandoned the family 10 years ago. He connects with her and she takes them in. And they are set up at a new school because their sister is married to a teacher at the local school. I'm getting there. While there, they start kind of making new friends and kind of not coming out in this new school because it went so well the last time. But his sister knows and her husband knows, and Ben is going for therapy to kind of work through because, I mean, it was very traumatic.
Yeah,
the coming out experience was very traumatic. And at school, they start talking to Nathan, who, like I said, doesn't know, but Nathan's so sweet, and they kind of develop this relationship, and you just want more, and it's so sweet, but it's not a romance book. Like, it's not about that. It's about kind of the journey of coming out, and
it's Ben's story.
You know, actually, that's a better way to put it. It's Ben's story. It's not about coming out. It's Ben's story.
So, and that's actually because you hit on something. So the whole time I'm reading this, I'm like, well, why doesn't he tell Nathan and then they can fall in love? And I get to read this because I wanted to, like, from the very first page, I wanted to hug Ben and take care of them. And
I wanted it so bad, and I wanted to push it
right?
like so much earlier. But I think that was kind of the point because everybody else was trying to push them to do certain things at certain times, and it's not about you. And then kind of as the novel goes on, you're like, no, this is what was right for Ben.
Right. And I love the parts with his therapist. I thought that was so well done and so realistic because as a psychology major, I think therapy is so important. And, I mean, the therapist really helps Ben. Like, really, like, they need to be able to process these things. I also liked the part with the sister when they first comes out to the sister, and the sister's like, what are your pronouns? And I thought that was so wonderful. The part at the beginning where the parents kick him out, that was just brutally hard to read.
I know, it was.
And then just the way, like, but you get hooked. Like, I think that happens in the first 10 pages, and he had me because I was like, boom. I mean, like, the way it was described, him getting kicked out he didn't even have his shoes. And he's talking about how his socks are wet and how he has to walk down to the one place in town that has a payphone. And I'm like, this is life for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think Ben is luckier and not as lucky as some, because they very quickly connect with their older sibling and are able to have a nice home that welcomes them and, provides them with the staples, but also kind of mental well-being.
Well, and it's definitely told through Ben's experience because there's a part where they're literally thinking, I don't even know what my sister does for a living. And right before that, I've been thinking, what does Hannah do that she can afford to do all this? And then Ben asks her, and I was like, so you are like the story's unraveling as it would in real life. And I thought that was really well done. This is the author's first book. And I think for a first book, it's
which I almost wouldn't believe. I mean, it's so well done.
It is. I mean, I think it's based off of the author's real experiences. So there is that, too. But I think it's a wonderful book. I think it's a wonderful book for parents of children who are non-binary, who don't understand. I think it's a very great way to break it down. I think it's a wonderful book for classrooms.
It really breaks it down in a way that, like, I think
But it's
I'm still at the very beginning of understanding this.
Yes.
And I think that this breaks it down in a way that I can kind of understand more than what I did before. I don't know.
It's a great way for empathy because you are experiencing it with him, and you're experiencing the prejudice, and you're experiencing the parents kicking him out, and you're like, this is horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
See, but we're both really kind of at the beginning of this journey, you know what I mean? And I think this book talks about that with all of the characters that Ben interacts with. I mean, they all have they're not perfect. No. And even in this few-minute video, we're not perfect. But at least they're trying, and it still hurts Ben. And I'm sad that doing that hurts them, and I'm trying really hard not to. And I think that this is a great way to develop that empathy because it matters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's just one of those books, I'm happy it's out there in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's should we rate it? We should
just rate it.
Yeah, let's rate it.
Okay, so our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse, and it's a horse. Obviously.
And it doesn't get a horn.
There it is. It doesn't get a horn. That's what I always say.
Yes.
Where are you?
I'm like at a 4, almost 4.5. I really like I said, the book grabbed me, and I thought it was well done. I read it in like 18 hours.
I was hooked. I read it very quickly too. I am going to give it a 4. Because I'm giving it a 4, and this is why. I figured it out. It's because I could not stand the pop culture references. They didn't work for me. They didn't make sense. Ben would be like, that's a pop culture reference, and I'm like, where? So it's no Jenny Han pop culture reference. You know what I mean? Like, the author still has some room to grow on that front, but that end does not make the book. Like, it's not about that. But it was
you said that
distracting.
And I was like, I didn't even notice those. And you're like, well, that's because. So that is where we are, and I wish you all the best.
So we wish you all the best.
See you around. Bye.
Bye.